Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody. With me, like always, is Elijah, and Greg is joining us also. So I appreciate you, Greg, being on today. How are you all doing? Greg, you doing good?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. Just wonderful day. Another good day to be you. I get that. Elijah, on the other hand. Elijah, what do you think about when you look in the mirror? You know, you wake up in the morning.
I wake up in the morning and I don't look in the mirror. It's just, I start off because I go to the bathroom and I just pee out excellence. And the only way to start the day.
Gotcha.
For those of you that get the quote, you get the quote. If not, that's sad. But you know,
no. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. I'll be honest. Great movie though.
Oh, great movie. Great movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've had an interesting week. We're going to get into it a little bit more. I went to the third game of the series against the Boston Red Sox at Camden Yards. So I was able to see some upgrades there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's get into it. Before we talk about the Orioles, we'll jump to Elijah with some non-Orioles related news.
Yeah, non-Orioles and non-baseball related news. And I know I'm excited about this. Me and Capitals fans, obviously, you can see. That's what I told them that because the Orioles aren't doing so great right now and the Capitals, well, they're not doing so great either, but Alex Ovechkin's doing good. So I decided to do this in protest of the Orioles and in support of the Capitals. But I'm excited. Alex Ovechkin just broke Wayne Gretzky's long-standing record for most goals in an NHL career. He has 895 now, which is a lot of goals. Because when you think of some milestones like that in baseball, you can kind of think of like Cal Ripken's game record or say Barry Bonds' home run record. Well, Alex Ovechkin has like 150 more home goals than Barry Bonds did home runs. Yeah. And I would say hockey's a little bit more physically tolling than baseball. Just a tad. You don't have the risk of just getting shoulder checked into the wall in baseball. Unless you're the Pittsburgh Pirates against Amir Garrett, but that's a separate thing.
Sure.
Yeah. But I know it was great. I think it's really cool for just all sports fans to really take into consideration how cool this is I know this is the only time that I've really ever seen like a milestone player get to play for one of my favorite teams. As an Oriole fan that wasn't alive for Cal Ripken, I never got to see any of that. And I'm a Cowboys fan 4 decades too late, really. So don't get to watch anything this exciting. So it was really cool watching that. Yeah. And it was really cool seeing how like the sports world as a whole responded to this, because hockey is very slept on, I feel like, by ESPN and a lot of just the U.S. as a whole. And it was really cool to see kind of everyone rally around. I know I saw videos like Snoop Dogg and LeBron James celebrating him, but the only thing I wish is that it happened in New York and it wasn't at home, but there was something else happening in D.C. around this time too.
Yeah, I mean, pretty cool. The Dodgers were able to celebrate their World Series at the White House, and Trump was there, took their pictures with him. I mean, they do it every year. I felt like this was one of my, I was really happy with the White House and the Dodgers to just kind of make sure it stayed baseball related and it didn't go too deep. You know what I mean? Take a picture. Hey, great job. Way to win the World Series. That's all I need, guys. And we can move on from there. You know, I was just like, yep, not trying. Let's just players. Don't say nothing. Just, Trump, don't say nothing. Let's just take your picture. White House with president is cool. I mean, if I was a player, I'd love to walk around the White House and see the history of, politics aside. Anyway, I thought it was pretty neat. And like I said, I thought both sides, the White House and the Dodgers, did an amazing job keeping it, unpolitical.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there was a lot of money tossed around over the league this past week or so. Let's just $500 million to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., $170 million to Garrett Crochet, $60 million to Christian Campbell. Jackson Merrill got, 135? And some of those surprisingly underpayments, like I can't believe Jackson Merrill only got paid that much, which is crazy to say that I can't believe a 21, 22-year-old just got $135 million. And I think he should have got more. Insane that anybody's thinking that. But you want to know who didn't get paid?
All of the Orioles.
All of the Orioles, yeah. Sorry, Charlie Morton's still getting paid. Don't worry, though. But, no, still nothing.
Not bitter. We're not bitter at all.
Not at all. Not at all. That's not why I'm wearing this.
Adley Rutschman's crushing it, but don't worry about him.
I would love, actually, for the owner of the Capitals to go buy the Orioles because they know how to spend money.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to believe anymore. We got an owner who has money. Anyway, moving on.
How many years do you have to wait? I mean, Red Sox signed Campbell. He may turn out to be great. He may turn out to be not very good at all. But they looked at $60 million as being chump change if this guy's great.
Yeah,
I thought it was very smart.
Yeah, I'd say we probably have to wait about 14 years looking at the Vladdy. We should get Vladdy in about 14 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We'll get
It'll, you know what's going to happen? Vladdy's going to be at like...
Probably going to pitch.
He's going to be at like 490 home runs or something stupid like that. And he'll want to come play one more year, and the Blue Jays aren't going to want to pay him for that last year. So he'll come here, hit 11 home runs.
We'll move the wall in.
Then retire. Yeah. Exactly. We'll head over to the Cal Ripken, the travel ball tournaments fields that he has there, the mini Camden Yards, and that's where we'll play.
That's funny.
But we'll get over to some fan bases that are feeling even worse than us, because I know we're 4-6 and the world's ending, but we could be 1-8 because the Braves are bad right now. Like, it's just like I feel bad for them because they went in and had a series against the Padres and the Dodgers, who looked like two of the best. We already knew the Dodgers were going to be good. No one really knew what to expect out of the Padres, but they're going to be good. And they just kind of got piled on. They finally won a game. They're not winless anymore, but 1-8's a rough start. No one's ever made the playoffs after starting worse than 0-7. So it's definitely it's a climb. We could be there. Like, it's bad. We could be there though. But looking at the other side, we could be like the Giants, who weren't supposed to be that great this year. Well, they're going to be about 500. They're 8-1. They're the best team in baseball right now. You got the Dodgers and Padres in their division. They're still beaten down by. Granted, we're a week and a half into the season, but Willie Adames is looking good. I picked up Wilmer Flores on my fantasy team. He is killed. He'd be my lock for MVP right now. I don't know if you guys know his stats. I think he has like 6 home runs or something like that. Like, he's close to where Judge is with home runs, which he's on another level too. Yeah. And then I will say, you know what the one good thing about, not good thing. I was trying to be sarcastic there, but you want to know what happens when you don't extend players and keep signing them to longer contracts? When they're really good and in their prime, they go to other teams and win American League and National League Player of the Week, like Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman did.
On the same week.
Same week. I don't know if you're looking at the stats. They're leading. Those two are tied for the league, for the lead in hits in baseball right now. They have 15. Mm-hmm. And do you know, I did find it funny. Second place, there's like a 4-way tie for 14. Altuve's in that part of it too. So they had kept those. They didn't trade away Tucker. They signed Bregman like they should have, I think. They would be probably doing really good right now. They're kind of doing rough. They're off to a rough start.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy about that whole mess. The Astros are just in a little bit of a mess. They're still good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're...
I mean, granted, they went to the World Series like 45 years in a row here. So, like, you know what? If we could do what they did, I'd be okay with a couple bad years.
I think we're starting to realize how amazing the Mets farm system was, and a little bit of luck and some great signings, because you look at the Orioles and they look like they're doing the same mapping of players to be great like the Astros, but you see it's not as easy as they made it look. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the Orioles, you look at us, and you look, we got the great shortstop. They had Correa, we have Henderson. I know Correa's not great now, but Correa was. They have Bregman. We have Westberg. They have, anyway, we have the Kersheds. We have the Kausers. They have, the Bregmans and the Tuckers. But anyway, the pitching is where it's at, man. I mean, they would go out and get solid starting pitching. You know what I mean? And people forget Garrett Cole was great. Garrett Cole was great for them. But anyway, I won't run over that too much. One thing that kind of stinks, because this team doesn't have much pitching, is Blake Snell heads to the IL with the Dodgers. But what is crazy is, if you do happen to have time to look at the injured list for the Dodgers, they do have a ton of pitchers on the injured list. So thank goodness they have 17 starters. But yeah, he goes to the injured list with shoulder inflammation. And that's crazy. I mean, they just signed him to a pretty good deal there after he had a solid year last year. And then another guy I want to talk about is, if you get a chance, we can't really show this video because we'll get flagged. So Victor Robles yesterday for the Mariners made an incredible catch in the 9th inning against the Dodgers. he plays right field, and a ball was hit, and their right field netting goes all the way to the foul pole. So he's going to make a catch on the right field side. He dives into the netting, and his left arm bends all the way to his butt, over his head, all the way it should not bend. And he dislocates his shoulder, catches the ball, completely dislocates his shoulder. My man was tears. If you've ever dislocated your shoulder, I have. It's extremely painful. So my man had to ride the golf cart with all the little bumps with a dislocated shoulder, which I can't imagine how painful that was. But anyway, please give the dude some love. Watch that video. Because when's the last time you saw Victor Robles highlight? So, make sure you hit that up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now this one, we're going a little out of the MLB. We're going back to some amateur baseball, high school baseball. And now you both deal with a lot of kids that are players. And I just want to know if you saw someone, well, not saw someone, if you heard someone do this, what do you think the punishment would be? So if you had a 16-year-old that decided that he was going to pull a prank on the opposing team and pee in their water jug, what would the punishment be?
Oh, no. This isn't Laurel, right? No, I'm still.
No. So this was the Rio Rancho high school JV team. Their entire team got suspended, and the 16-year-old is facing 15 counts of battery.
Wow.
For peeing in the other team's, the La Cueva High School's water jug that players may have drank out of during a game last week.
You have to suspend them.
Yeah.
I think you definitely have to suspend them.
Well, hold on. How hard does he throw? How hard?
Exactly.
I'll say it's JV, so we don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's no stats, but so that whole team season's over.
That's
and I think I agree with the decision probably to suspend the whole team, because something tells me he didn't just randomly decide to do that all up here. That wasn't just him. Something tells me that was a collective.
Well, it wasn't up there.
Well,
No.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I saw that right before we got on. I was like, I feel like I need to work that in here somewhere. That's just an interesting one.
Mm.
And then, so right before we get into anything else, though, a little bit of Orioles news, just an update. Albert Suarez has been put onto the 60-day IL, so he's going to be hurt a little bit longer than we thought, which sucks, but it is what it is at this point,
Wow. Yeah.
Well,
But,
why wouldn't he get hurt more?
yeah, I know, man.
Make magic happen with Emily at Blue Crab Travel, your Disney vacation expert. Ready to experience the wonder of Disney? Let her help you plan the ultimate Disney getaway. Whether you're heading to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or a Disney cruise, she has you covered. Emily can take care of custom Disney itineraries, tailored to your family's needs and preferences. She also can help find you exclusive discounts on Disney hotels, tickets, and packages. Imagine a stress-free vacation with hassle-free booking for accommodations, dining reservations, and fast passes. From character meet and greets to thrilling rides, Emily will make sure every moment is unforgettable. Email Emily Jones today at emilyjones@bluecrabtravel.com to start planning your dream Disney vacation.
We do have good news, and that is my favorite part of every podcast. It is Elijah's trivia. What do you got, man?
So I did tell Cody this one, I had to do a little bit of thinking. I'm impressed with myself, did some math. So, Aaron Judge currently is tied for the league lead in home runs with 6, which in case you're doing the quick math in your head, that's on pace for 108 home runs this year. So just quite a few, only 30 more than the current, thing. But who currently has the record for most, single season home runs? It's Barry Bonds, right? He also has the most home runs in MLB history with 762. If Judge could keep up, the pace that he's been on the past few years, how many seasons would it take him to break this record?
How many seasons is he in right now? Is he in 6?
Hold up. I have that pulled up. Let me find it. Aaron Judge's. So currently he is in year 9 or 10. But the first year he only played 27 games. So year 9 really.
What's he average, 30 home runs a year?
No, so I did the past 3 seasons. In the past 3 seasons, this is where I had to do the math. So, 2 years ago, of course, he got hurt, so he only played 100 games. But I tried to do the math of what he would have eventually gotten to if he played 162. And he's been averaging about 59 a year for the past 3 years.
Jeez. That's impressive.
Yeah.
So you're still looking at about 8 years?
Yeah, exactly. 8 years. So he's currently at 315. And it would take him 8 seasons. He'd get during that 8th season, he'd get above it, which would be his 41-year-old season, which is a year older than how old Bonds was when he retired.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's I mean, it's not
like it's crazy that it is reachable because like I'm thinking about it. Judge is not slowing down for this year, probably not next year.
Just
I think I don't think because I mean, if you look at it, 2017 he only hit 50. He hit 52, but then he went 27, 27, and 18 and 19. He had COVID season, obviously, and 39 and 21. But I mean, the past couple seasons he's been on a roll, and I thought it was impressive as a Yankee. I know it sucks to bring him up, but I do think it's impressive. And I thought it kind of was relevant with the whole Alex Ovechkin thing. I feel like goals, homers are somewhat comparable, but also this is a small one that I just thought was interesting. So he's averaging 59 over the past 3 seasons. Barry Bonds only hit over 50 home runs once.
Wow.
It was only the season that he broke the record. He never was over 50, which I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And if you're obviously an Orioles fan, a podcast listener for us, and you just heard Elijah talk about the Yankees and he's wearing Capitals and you'd like to kick him off the podcast, you just put a comment below and we'll get rid of him because apparently he doesn't like the Orioles. He has an Orioles flag there. He must have got that at a local, sidewalk vendor.
Sidewalk vendor?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Elijah's just salty, which I get. Speaking of salty, it's time to get into our box scores over the past week. The Orioles come out and take 1 out of 3 against the Red Sox. Really struggled in this series. I'm not going to talk about Monday's game. That was in our last podcast, and we lost. And we won that game. Sorry, but that was our home opener. The second game of the series, Garrett Crochet pitched against us, and that's pretty much all you need to know. He dominated. Red Sox win 3-0. Zach Eflin pitched for the Orioles, did fine, gave up 3 earned. That's what a number 2 starter does for you. He's our number 1 though. But anyway, not gonna get into that too much. The third game of the series is the game I got to go and enjoy with my family and try to make sure I had a good attitude the whole time. And that is where the Red Sox just hit 2-run home runs almost every inning, it felt like, against Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton did strike out 10, which that's what every Orioles place wants to tell you. They want to just tell you how he struck out 10. They don't want to talk about how there was just freaking missiles being hit when they didn't miss it. So they either missed it or hit a missile. I thought that you could pretty much ask anybody and sitting on any row in any seat to go out there and bat against them. They could at least try to get a hit. I mean, but anyway, not going to go into that too much. Charlie Morton strikes out 10, goes 5 innings, gives up 5 earned. I think that's what you're going to get out of Charlie Morton. I like Charlie Morton. I just don't think he's a great pitcher anymore. Red Sox win 8-4. Mullins did hit a leadoff home run. That was the highlight of the whole game. Also, talk about this game really quick. As I was at the stadium, got to see some of the new things that the Orioles have to offer. Some positives. Elijah, guess what I heard?
What?
Everything. I could hear everything.
That's awesome.
So the Orioles have a ton of speakers all throughout the stadium. You can look right in the rafters above each section. Used to, each section will have your own individual speaker. That's not the case anymore. Elijah, they have massive speakers right near the screen now. They're on both sides of the screen. It's a temporary thing, but it does sound very clear. I don't know how it sounds if you're sitting like right under the speaker, because I don't know how it projects, but I'm sure it's fine. But it is pretty cool because when you're like looking at the speaker, it's like it feels like you're watching television because it's like right at you from that screen. But anyway, you could hear everything. Really enjoyed that. Not used to that as an Orioles fan. Also, I took advantage of the new discount meals. I don't know what you want to call that.
The value menu.
The value menu, discount meals, sound like I'm at McDonald's. So I have some great things about that, and some negatives. The things that I like about it, it's pretty much $4 for everything. So we loaded up on like the popcorn. Basically, regular popcorn I think is $8. The discounted popcorn's $4. It's half of that box. So that's what it is. The hot dogs are $4, which was perfect because I have 2 daughters, young daughters. I refused to buy them. The $9 hot dog.
You don't want to get them the crab mac and cheese hot dog?
No. So that was perfect. They but it's all in like a warming machine. So it's $4. Everything's pre-cooked, warm. It was fine. It's good. It's good. Quick for kids. To me, it's perfect. because I'm a bad dad. I don't care what they eat. But anyway, but the best part, free refills. Okay, they have fountain soda machines all throughout the main concourse and the upper concourse. We were sitting in club level, not one fountain soda machine.
I think it's only on level 100 and 300.
Yeah. Okay. I know apparently because I was in club level, I'm supposed to have money, but I spent the money, right? I don't want anyway. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, we should be giving free.
Well, see, I feel like you were probably fine because those of you that haven't gone to a game, which is all of you that are listening's never gone to a game with Cody, but he does this thing where as soon as the Orioles get in any sort of trouble, he has to just get up and walk. Yeah. It's the only way he can get rid of the stress and the anger. So I'm sure he did enough walking around to get to that soda.
Yeah. Yeah. I did get my souvenir cup, but you also do get free refills with any cup that you purchase there. Anyway, I am a big fan of the free refills. That was amazing. They have so many free refill stations. There was never a line. I also did go on a Thursday at 1:00, so that might be why it wasn't a line. But I have a lot more positives than negatives. The other negative I want to talk about is that the Orioles at any given time can make all of their parking permit only. That's the dumbest thing you've ever done. The Orioles used to have a great thing going where there was only one parking lot that was permit only, which means prepaid. Now they can make all of them. And you don't know when that's going to be. So luckily we parked in, I think, parking lot C, and it wasn't permit only. But when we asked the lady, even the lady has no idea. She's like, we're just told before the game starts. So that sucks. Baltimore's already not the most fun place to get stuck in. So it stinks that they're making it a little more difficult to park.
So where do people park? I mean, because when we used to come in, we'd come in, you go almost in a back alley and you park in those. You got to walk over the bridge to get to the stadium.
Yeah.
So they're going to make those. Those were always you'd come in and you pay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making them permit only on some games, but you have no idea which games. Also, you can't buy parking tickets unless you were to buy it off the Orioles site. So if you buy StubHub, TickPick, whatever, there's no parking ticket available. So you're screwed. And then we had season tickets last year and season ticket plan. And you had to be so fast buying parking tickets or, parking passes because they would just stop them. They wouldn't fill up ever, but they would just stop it. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So Orioles parking, get your stuff together. Moving on. Like I said, I do like a lot of stuff. Oh, last negative. At the end of the game, we went to the main concourse store, and they thought that's the greatest time to not have an entrance and an exit. They shut the exit, so everybody now is going through the entrance. So whether you're leaving or going, you're going through the entrance. That's when the most people are at the store, people. What are you doing? Of all the times to make one entrance, what the world are you doing? Okay. All right.
We still have another series to talk about.
I know. Anyway, I'm done talking about that. All right. Moving on to Kansas City. You're not going to like this either, everybody. Trust me.
It's quick.
The stadium was good. All right. The Orioles take 1 out of 3. Who would have thought? Against Kansas City. Dean Kramer comes out, struggled a little bit with his pitch count. Goes 4 1/3. We would prefer you to go farther than that. Gives up 3 runs. Cino Perez said, "Don't worry, man. I got you." Gives up 5 runs in 1 inning. Made Dean Kramer look like the best pitcher of all time. Gunnar Henderson is back, kind of. I mean, he's standing at the plate. Orioles lose that game.
I think he is swinging. I don't know if he knows there's a ball there that he's supposed to hit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just shouldn't have people playing AAA. Just go step into the Shorebirds, play there, because it's a curse coming up. Second game of the series, the Orioles win 8-1 against Kansas City. Sugano looked great. He did. He pitched much better. It goes 5 1/3. Still would like to get 6 innings, but remember, he's 30-some years old. He gave up 1 in that 5 1/3. The bullpen absolutely dominated. No sarcasm there. They really did. O'Neill, Sanchez, and Holiday all with 2 RBIs in that game. In the last game I want to talk about is Kansas City beats the Orioles 3-1. Bubic, the starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, looked like Nolan Ryan as he dominated the Orioles, and Povich goes 6 innings, gives up 4. That's Povich. That's what you're getting. You're not getting any more. the Orioles fans, I know you'll love him. Well, not Orioles fans, but every Oriole commentator, you call him some shady because I don't know. He's yet to show it, except for at the end of last season, we were playing the Minnesota Twins, who couldn't have beat a single A team. Okay, well, after all that, I'm just frustrated. I love you, Orioles. I'm just frustrated. I refuse to talk about the pitching. So, Greg, you can take over.
Yeah. Well, I am certainly glad to be able to take over such a positive subject. I mean, as good as they've been doing. So we're going to start off with the good stuff. And the good stuff would have to be the bullpen for the most part. I think you have 5 guys out of the pen that have a 0 ERA. Cano, Dominguez, Baker, Soto, and Bowman. That's your positive. Right there. We're going to stop. We could move on, but we got to deal with other things.
I think that's just the end of the podcast right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And not just are they 0 ERA, their batting averages that their people are getting hits or whatever off of them. You know, they're around 100 or less. So the bullpen, like we talked about earlier, should not be the problem. I mean, take Perez's outing out of it, which I didn't really understand the position he was in, but we'll just move on that. We have another segment that might address that.
Yeah.
But Batista's the only one in the pen that's kind of trying to find his way. Now, the bad. I would have to say the starters. It's pretty obvious they're missing Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Bad. I know you two as big Oriole fans are probably waiting for Kyle Gibson. You didn't think you would say that. But yeah, their starting pitching is something to be desired. I think besides Eflin, I was looking at, and this is the funniest thing. I don't even want to talk about ERA. I like to talk about opponents' batting averages. I think except for Eflin and the Japanese pitcher, I'm not going to attempt to say it, who are like 227, 243 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are batting, I mean, the opponent's batting 350 to 400 off these guys. Now, I don't know, not knowing a lot about baseball, I'm assuming 350 and 400 isn't good.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get it done. I mean, they don't have one save. Just because it's all, if the offense doesn't score, your pitching's not holding anybody.
Yeah, it's either 8-1 win or 8-1 loss.
Well, that and the big thing, and we talked about this preseason, and I get it's early, so I'm not expecting starters to go 8 innings right now. But you're getting 4 innings out of your guys. Eflin's the only one I think he's gotten 6 both times. There's going to be a major problem. Morton has no control right now. I mean, when you watch him pitch, yeah, he's got good stuff. His fastball runs, cuts, changeup's not bad, curveball's filthy, but he's got no control. He doesn't know where it's going. And that's why his strikeout count's great, but his hits given up are crazy. Povich, I was hoping for a lot better. I don't know if you're going to get that. I think you can. But let's get to the positive at the end of it. It's early. You have, after about the 6th week, I think you're going to start to see more about where they settle in. If it doesn't get better, I don't know what they do. Rodriguez should be... I'm hoping Rodriguez is back, June? Somewhere in then. Gibson might be ready. I mean, you can't count on Suarez now. He's done for a while. So you're hoping they figure it out. But the only thing I'd be fearful of, and to get your opinion, guys, on this, is as bad as their starting pitching has been, how bad is it going to be for the bullpen? It's going to tax the bullpen. And if that happens, I'm scared you're going to lose the back end of that bullpen.
Yeah, I honestly think that this season, and it's not going to be something that, even if I had told myself that I was going to say this 3 weeks ago, I'd probably slapped myself in the face. But I think there may be one person who has put the entire team on their back right now and is saving us. And I think it might be Brian Baker. Brian Baker has thrown the second most innings out of our bullpen. I swear, he comes in almost every game, it feels like, and he gets outs. He came in the other day and got a double play on like 3 pitches. Because he is someone that I don't think, which obviously he's playing this good, he should be, but I don't think they see him. I think he's the first man gone, probably between him and Bowman. So they don't see him being in the bullpen for a long time. So they're okay really tacking on the innings to him right now. And I mean, when you tell people that when they come up, they got to make their chance. And if you're a guy going up and down between AAA and the big leagues, you really got to try to stick. He's doing the best he can. Mm-hmm. I think between like him and Bowman, they're 2 guys that by September probably won't be in the bullpen. But I think if we turn it around, which I say if we turn around, it's still early in the year, but if we get going and make a deep run in the playoffs, those are guys that you're going to look at like, without them, we don't get to wherever we're going to go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but it's the height effect. Like, I mean, we go to the bullpen super early. Not that he has any choice, but over the past 3 seasons, I say it because competitive seasons, this has been the Oriole way, right? I mean, it's, the starting pitching gets you a little bit, but the bullpen gets you a lot. And at the end of the season, we go to the playoffs and our bullpen's done. You know what I mean? Whether they're hurt or whether they're tired, it's just one of those things where we use them a ton. I don't blame Hyde completely for that because what's he supposed to do? You can't, you got to save the starter. You know what? You're not trying to save the starter. You're trying to keep the game reachable. So I mean, it's a shame that we're still talking about this because I feel like we talk about it every year. It's hopefully our offense can really help us out. Elijah?
Yeah. I will say one last thing about pitching, and this is an idea that may not work, but what if when Kyle Gibson's ready to come up, they bring him up and we run a 6-man rotation, but if Sugano clicks and does what he did this past time every time, we give him and Eflin still pitch on 5 days, but the rest of them, we just stretch them out enough so that we just see them each less. So like Morton just doesn't have to pitch as much. Like we don't have to, like you still have like the guys that are doing good still pitching the same amount, but the guys that are doing bad, just get them out there less.
I don't think that's a concept.
Yeah, I think they should toy with it.
I just think, in wrapping it up, I just think the whole thing with the pitching is, you go back and you look at the guy in Arizona right now. Yeah. Having that number one, having that guy that goes out every 5 days and gets you 7 innings, 8 innings, that's a major, major thing, having that stopper, and they just don't have it right now.
Yeah, I mean, how nice was it last year? Corbin Burns would come in to pitch, and you knew you had a chance to win. Like, you knew you were supposed to win. You
also knew that there was a, barring injury or some, one or twice a blow-up, he was making it to the 6th inning, no matter what. Like, that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, he was pitching 5+. Yeah. But looking at our offense, it's not as grim as our pitching. Looking at, I was talking to a friend that doesn't know much about baseball and trying to explain to him how our stats are good, but we're not doing good. I don't understand it. And it could be the Hyde effect. It might be. I'm going to talk about that later. But for hitting, we're top 10 in pretty much everything in hitting stats in the MLB. We're 4th in the AL in batting average and OPS. We're 3rd in strikeouts. We do strike out an awful lot, but we're 8th in walks. The one that's killing me lately is we're 1st in double plays. We keep hitting in double plays. That's what's killing us. But the prior to the double play, though, we're still getting on base to start off innings. I mean, our normal starters are doing great. Mounty's starting to look good. Adley slowed down from the start, but he's still there. Westberg's still doing good. Kerstad's starting to get it up. And I looked at some people more in depth. Tyler O'Neill. This is looking like a great signing so far of the year. He has done great. He's a .333 batting average, a .954 OPS. And now I'm going to get into a little bit of baseball savant and nerd baseball that some people aren't really into, but he's in the 76th percentile in batting run value, which means he's basically 76% better than an average hitter. He's providing good run value. But I did see someone say this. I don't remember the exact analogy, but basically he would be working in a gym as a strength coach if he couldn't hit the ball, because he may have some of the worst baseball IQ and worst base running and fielding of any player I've seen at this point in the season. He is ranked in the 2nd percentile in base running and 4th percentile in fielding. So he's probably collectively of base running and fielding, he may be like one of the bottom 5 players. But he's striking out. He has the best K percentage of his career. He is striking out the least this far. He's not walking as much as he normally does, but he's not striking out. His whiff rate's down. It's definitely going to be an interesting season for him. I think this was a great signing so far. He's looked great. Another guy that's looked great is Holiday. And here's the comparison. His first 8 games this season, 30 at-bats, a 333 average, 888 OPS, 8 strikeouts. Do you know what the first 8 games of his 2024 season look like? A .037 average, a .108 OPS, and 15 strikeouts. He's starting to find it. And then this guy, I've been very surprised by this season. He's not playing as much as I think he should, but he's really stepping up, and it's Ramon Arias. Yeah. He can't seem to stop hitting the ball. He's got 370 batting average, 859 OPS. And when he hits it, he's hitting hard. Like, he's barreling the ball. And another guy that's killing it, Cedric Mullins. I mean, he's got 1092 OPS, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, 313 batting average. I don't understand. Like, we do have some guys. O'Hearn, he's not doing as good as he did last year. He's been a little bit less than expected. Some of our platoon bench guys, Ramon Laureano's not look great, but for his defense, that's okay right now because his defenses look great. Mateo isn't doing great, but I mean, we are kind of we're staying above league average, which I think we've now seen we can't do with our pitching. I think our offense needs to do what it was last year and be a top 5 offensive team just to stay afloat.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I'm looking at it, these are the 2 most significant bad people on our team right now. Jorge Mateo, I kind of just I get rid of him at this point. I don't even know what to say. I'm a big Jorge Mateo fan. I normally like his defense, but his defense has been abysmal this year. He's 0 for 11. He just looks lost at the plate. He was kind of the start of the rally in the first inning for the Royals on Sunday. When you have, in my opinion, a center fielder that if he doesn't win a Gold Glove throughout his career, they go down as one of the best defensive center fielders to never win a Gold Glove in his career, in Cedric Mullins. Why is he not playing out there? He's not struggling. I don't get it, because Jorge Mateo, he's not proven in center field, and I don't understand why we're doing stuff like this. And someone else that looks rough, Cody, you kind of hinted at, is Gunnar.
Yeah.
He has the 2nd most strikeouts on the team, and he has played 3 games.
Sure.
The 2nd most strikeouts on the team, and he has played 1 series.
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect it to turn around, right? I mean,
obviously, I'm not saying that he's going to go pull Chris Davis and just strike out every at bat. Like, I'm not expecting that.
Obviously, he would have to. It would wait until we pay him $1 billion.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
that's when that would happen.
But it's a rough start, and I hope he can turn it around.
Yeah, I think so. Talking about the Jorge Mateo thing, I don't know if I agree that I'm annoyed. Okay, but I also believe this. So, Greg, I'm going to use you for example because you are a high school baseball coach. Very seldom. So you're shortstop on your team, for your high school team. Would you? I know you're high school, but championship game of the season. Would you put him in center field? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, and it's not because you don't think he sucks. It's just because you'd put him at second. You could put him at second, right? You'd put him somewhere where he's kind of used to playing. To me, I say the championship game because I feel like Major League Baseball is the championship game every single game. That's the talent level. And that's what they're doing to Mateo. You're putting him in the outfield in Kansas City. It's 37 degrees, and the sun is right behind home plate. Line drives hit right at you. It looks really bad on TV that he misses it. If you've ever played the outfield, have a line drive hit right at you. It's terrifying because you moves and you don't know the velocity off the bat. Like you think you do. So, you take a, you know how it is, Greg. You take that step in, you're beat. You know what I mean? You take that step out, you take that step back, and then you let the ball fall in front. It's a lose-lose. So I don't like that he's in center field. I know he's struggling at the plate a little bit. I know I get it. But everybody's hating on him because of the center field thing. I don't blame him completely for that. If you look at the amount of center field reps he got in spring training, I think it was like 1 game. Okay. If this was your idea, he should put him out there every time. My mate, we know he can play the infield. Screw it. Put him in the outfield every time and be like, oh, just in case. I know you can play the infield. You could go do infield practice in the backfields. But game situations, put him in center field and not do it in the regular season. Okay, moving on about that. I know he's not hitting at all. I get it. He's 0-11, but he's coming off injury also. He was injured most of the last season. So same thing. Everybody's giving Felix Bautista all this all this room to grow and to get back on track, but nobody's giving Mateo that. But
this is the difference, though.
There's a big difference.
Felix Bautista hasn't come in. Felix Bautista isn't coming in with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 9th inning.
True.
And I know you're saying that, but Jorge Mateo's playing center field with Bobby Witt Jr. up. Like that's the thing. It's very different. And if Jorge Mateo still needs time, we have depth.
Oh, I agree. But I don't blame. I just
Dylan
don't blame Mateo for that.
just got sent down for. No, I'm not blaming Mateo either.
Yeah,
I'm just saying we have Dylan Carlson.
Absolutely.
If you want an infielder, bring up Kobe Mayo. We have 2 shortstops now. We're like.
I agree.
That's some depth.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue is you have that the one guy that was playing left the other day.
Carlson?
Strong arm from
Mariano.
Simon Mariano,
one of the better defensive outfielders.
Absolutely.
Put him in center. The truth of it was Mateo. The experiment happened the year before last, and then going into last year, then he got hurt and he was done. But okay, so they like his speed. The problem with Mateo has been for the last 3 years. He is what he is.
Yeah.
He's not a starting shortstop he's a backup infielder at best. At best, he's your 3rd or 4th outfield option. You love his speed. I understand that. But at some point, you have more talented individuals on that team that can go fill different spots.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. And I understand, give him grace. Well, that's what the minor leagues was for.
Yeah.
Why force him to be on the starting roster, the opening day roster?
I get it. And that jumps right into our next segment. And that's, what do we think about Brandon Hyde? So I am a person, I'll jump in first. I give him a lot of benefit of the doubt for me. Okay. And the reason why I'm jumping in first, because Hyde, if you're listening after I get done talking, if you can just turn this off. But here's why I give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I give him the benefit of the doubt most of the time because he doesn't get to pick the players on this team. He has to work with what he has. Right. So it's sort of like one of those things where if you want a job done around the house, the reason why you hire a contractor is because they have the right tools for the job. You could probably get it done, but it's not going to work as long or look the best, right? So the pitching side of it, I don't blame Hyde at all. Not at all for the pitching side. I see people all the time complain about his bullpen usage. Who the heck is he going to use? Because, I mean, Cionel Perez is in there. I get he struggled. The Orioles didn't hit all day. There was no coming back from that game. He was like, well, I'll use Cionel, and this game we're going to play for the next game. But I think if you want to blame people for that type of stuff, that's the front office, in my opinion. And the scouting, because the scouting thought that Charlie Morton was going to be able to do more than what he can. Moving on, I do blame him on lineup construction, as long as I know that he is the sole proprietor in doing that. If you don't know, I mean, sometimes front offices get involved. I don't know this. I don't think they do, because he is very. If he is having other input, he's a great liar on TV, because like the whole putting Mateo in center. I think that's Hyde. I think Hyde's the center, putting him in center. I think that O'Hearn at first more than he needs to be. That's Hyde. I think I think that kind of stuff is. And I do blame him for that. I do not like his defensive positioning very much at all. And I agree with Greg on this aspect where I think we have better options. Even on the major league roster, not just call ups and send downs. I think on the major league roster, I agree with you. Obviously I'm trying to give the opposite side on Mateo there, but I don't disagree with what you're saying on not putting Mateo in the outfield, just putting him on the bench and bringing him off if you need it. So like I said, I don't blame Hyde for everything when we're dealing with a lot of the roster issues, but I do blame him on defensive positioning. Elijah, I'm not letting Greg get in yet, so I want to make sure Hyde can get off. I don't want him posting his laptop. He still hears his voice.
Yeah, because I'm not going to go after just Hyde. I am going to go after him on the first thing. So I know what you said about Perez. Sure, that makes sense. We weren't hitting. So at the time, going into that inning, going into the ninth inning, it was 3-2. Right? We scored 2 runs. You give it. He gives up 2 runs. He gives up 3 runs. He gave up a bases loaded hit. You're not telling me. We've all played baseball before. Could you imagine going into it? Okay, it's the 9th inning. You're down a run. You need to come out and hit. Right? Well, your reliever just gave up an extra 2 runs. Now you need to get 3 runs. Okay, that's doable. Well, you just gave up 5 runs going into the 9th inning. That's demoralizing. You're beat there. I know. I've played for many very bad teams that have given up a lot of runs late in games. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Once it gets that bad, you are not coming back. You're not climbing out of that hole. You can get 2 runs, maybe. You can maybe get 3 runs. I don't know if you can get more than that, though, that late in the game after giving up 5. I don't think it's possible. And I think letting him sit out there and you say, okay, well, let him eat it. Well, Cino Perez is supposed to be one of your best relievers, and you're just going to tell him, okay, go ahead, eat the 5 innings. I'll eat the 5 runs. I don't care. It hurts your ERA. I don't care. That's good. That hurts him. That hurts his confidence. There's a lot that goes into being the manager of a team that I don't know. I am a 19-year-old college student that's never had to coach a baseball team in my life before, but I can imagine Cino Perez wasn't happy that he was left out there for that whole inning. Because I know if I've pitched bad before, and there's certain times like, just take me out. Someone needs to clean up my mess. And I don't know. Now the lineup. I share Cody and Greg's sentiment, but I even more so, they were getting too fancy with it. Sig Mejdal is in our front office, and he is one of the smartest men in baseball analytically. I don't know if he is in Brandon Hyde's ear or one of his henchmen's in Brandon Hyde's ear, telling him, he's got some intern down there, telling him, hey, Ramon Arias isn't great against righties when the weather's below 45 degrees and the wind's blowing out to right field. We need to put in this guy.
Amen.
This isn't Moneyball. Ryan Mountcastle is better than Ryan O'Hearn. Play him at first base. Cedric Mullins should play 162 games this season at center field. Jordan Westbrook shouldn't be getting bench days a week into the season. He doesn't need rest after one series. I don't want to say it's that simple, but it's that simple. It really is.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay, you want to give him a rest day? It is April. It's the beginning of April. We have not played more than 10 games of baseball. What are they tired from? Really? Really? And if there's a nagging injury or something, that's separate. But he's been like this for the past few years. And I know Greg gets on him so much for Ryan O'Hearn. I know that. And I've been a Ryan O'Hearn supporter, but at this point in the year, Ryan O'Hearn is not doing as good as Ryan Mountcastle. I don't care if it's a righty or a lefty up on the mound. O'Hearn can DH if it's a righty. Sure. You can have that. That's fine, because I don't think we have a better person to play. But Mountcastle's defense is better. Mountcastle's offense is better. Play Mountcastle every day.
But your best 9.
Your best 9 ever. It's the major leagues. We don't have Dwight Smith Jr. and Stevie Wilkerson out here anymore trying to piece together who's worse than who. That's who we're not leaving. No. It's pretty simple who our starting 9 should be every day, I feel like. Sure, there's going to be a little bit of variance, but there should not be a day that Ryan O'Hearn or Ryan Mountcastle, Jackson Holliday, Jordan Westburg, and Gunnar Henderson are your infield. They should be your infield for 150 out of 162. I don't know. That's all I got, I guess.
Yeah, I don't care. Oh my God, you guys are speaking my language. No, you're 100% right. With the pitching staff, I don't blame him. I understand the Perez thing. The only thing I don't understand in that situation is why you don't have somebody warming up. It just, you're 3-2. You never know matchup wise. You have somebody loose. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, your starting pitchers, his decisions to go to the bullpen, there's times I think he could wait an inning or so. I mean, there's definitely times I think, these pitchers get to a number and he just pulls them. I don't like that. I don't think you should be dictated by number. Feel matters, but analytics is analytics, and I do believe that plays a major part in it. When it comes to the lineup, you're 100% right. I can't stand, and I mean this to the bottom of my soul, to hear righty-lefty matchups. I'm so over it. Gunnar Henderson can hit against the left-hander, and he can hit against the right-hander. And if he can't, then he's not worth $700 million. I mean, why are you... what you said about Westberg was spot on. You went through one series, and he's not playing the next game? Westberg is one of your hottest hitters. If you want to find time for Urias, that's fine. Henderson wasn't in your first, 9 games? He didn't play. Urias could have been at third. Urias could have been at third. Holiday at short, like it was some. Why is Mateo on the field? It's 10 games in. You've had 2 rest days. That makes no sense. I don't understand how the construction of the lineup is always analytically driven. It's not best player driven. And you are so right about Ryan Mountcastle. He gives you something every time he's in the lineup. I don't care who he's facing. I mean, the one thing I can't understand is, and he does this with his catchers and with DH. I get Adley needs days off, and I don't mind you DH at Adley. What I can't understand is if Adley's not in the lineup and Sanchez is hitting, Sanchez gives you almost nothing. He's a strikeout guy or a home run guy. That's what he is. I don't quite understand roster construction sometimes, and I know that's not always manager driven. That's a group. But no, you can't. I mean, go back to Kowser's injury. The only reason why Kerstead is able to get on the field is because Kowser got hurt.
Yeah.
If not, he would never put him on the field. Hyde loves his veterans. We know that. He loves veterans. But this team is young and needs it. And you got to keep putting the best players on the field. I just don't understand. I don't understand all the substitutions.
Yeah, I mean, if he loves his veterans, man, shouldn't they go out and, for all offseason, you have JD Martinez sitting there in free agency, and that'd be a great DH guy, and
Yes.
then you wouldn't have to have, because that's a veteran, right?
Yes.
Like that's, and but what do we know?
Yeah. No, and the one last thing about the lineup too is I don't know, is it just me or especially before Gunnar come back? I don't even care that Gunnar came back. He is struggling. Cedric Mullins is our leadoff hitter right now.
Yeah.
Like, do we all agree in that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the funny thing about Mullins is, and I think they said something on TV, it is the first person that they know of in the first 8 games of a season. He's been in 7 different spots in the lineup.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No, because like the other day, I got the notification about the lineup, and he was batting like 9th or 8th or something like that. He should be batting 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, maybe. He is our best hitter so far this season. Because I understand, second lead off, or you want the speed. It's about it doesn't matter. You want the best guys to get the most at bats in a game.
But if it's performance driven, then why is Jackson Holiday batting 9th?
Exactly. And because speaking of Holiday and Kerstead, they do the same thing, is they try to hide them from the lefties. But look at what Holiday's done. He didn't hit against lefties all season last year, and we were all like, yeah, he sucks against lefties. He's finally played against lefties, and he's hitting them. You can't learn to hit them until you actually face them.
Yeah, and the most frustrating part about that is how, when you're growing up, you face both. It doesn't matter. Especially the righties on righties. That's the biggest one. Yeah. I mean, as a righty, you face righties more than you've ever faced any lefty of your life.
Exactly.
So there's no reason for you to take righties out of the lineup for a lefty pitcher. For a righty pitcher. Because you've been facing that your entire life. And, it's almost hard, I know it's not harder, but it's, you face lefties less, but what do we know, guys? You know what I mean? We're just talking about the Orioles and complaining. And when Hyde makes the right moves, we'll just say what a genius. But no, I'm kidding. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Well, thank you all for listening. A couple things I want to hit on. The Baltimore Orioles minor league system is all back in play now. Delmarva Shorebirds and I believe it's Delmarva Shorebirds and the Norfolk Tide are both home this week. So go give them some love. It's probably going to be about 37 degrees. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, Aberdeen and the new named Chesapeake Bay Sox are both away. But, boys, this is baseball season now. We got baseball all up and down. It's going to be fun to look at some of our minor league guys, kind of see. I'm excited to see Bradfield, how he plays this year. Vince Honeycutt, how he does. But yeah, we're jumping in. We'll get into it next week as the Orioles as the Orioles are in a series with the Diamondbacks. And, we'll talk more about that. And hopefully, maybe we can take 2 out of 3. Holy crap. That'd be crazy.
I don't know. Is winning a series possible?
I don't know. Yeah, you remember in Major League, he was like, all right, boys, you won 2 games, and if you win 1 more, that's called a winning streak.
Yes.
Anyway, so it's still early. We're not panicking, and, I'm panicking, but we're not supposed to be panicking. And hopefully our Capitals can finish the year strong. We're going into the playoffs. So at least the Capitals are going to the playoffs. So
someone can.
Yeah. Until next time, I'm Cody. This is Elijah and Greg. Thank you all for joining us on another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter.